That sounds like a reasonable prediction to me.
It does. I think all of our predictions are always reasonable. Something that will give you an unreasonable competitive edge, though, is the GT20 Pro. If you want to be the best on the server, grab yourself that phone, get out there and show just how good you can be at PUBG Mobile.
Not only will it give you that edge, it's got great rims on it as well.
Yep.
The bezel-less gameplay is gorgeous.
Nothing blocking your vision.
Not at all. 120 hertz as well, you are going to be zooming. Over towards this map, though, we do have teams heading out. Less rough, I would say, than our last playing path, which was funneling a lot of our squads down towards that south side of the map. Take a look at our top player stats there. Mafioso making his way in at highest damage. He has been having a great couple of games here for himself. But Revo not far behind with 2,300 total.
Been a good day to be an Alpha 7 fan, I would imagine, with some of the moves we've seen them coming out with. They've had some new stuff in their gameplay, it's felt like. Repping themselves a lot in the fights. Mafioso, like you said as well, he's been looking so damn good in those uncomfortable cleanup situations where you are fighting down a man.
A little bit of that clutch gameplay required in those situations, and I think it's always nice to have a player who's playing on point there. We do already have a player from TJB kicking the bucket on that north side of the map. Losing one player this early on and a third place position at the end of the day is a real feels bad moment for them. However, we are going to be having a little rehost.
Yeah, a bit of a reset on this one.
Reset, recalibrate.
And then get you back in. Do you want to rehost Riddle, Blank? Would you like one?
Yes. Have you got one?
Yeah, I've got one ready for you. I've gone outside.
Okay.
Okay, actually, hang on. A man's gone outside.
You've not gone outside.
No,
it's just
me,
a man.
It's not me. Sorry, right.
Okay, it's just
a man's gone outside.
Yeah.
But it's raining.
Okay.
Yet there is not a wet hair on his head. Why?
Okay. Man's gone outside.
A man's gone outside, but it's raining.
It's raining.
But there's not a wet hair on his head. Why?
Not a wet hair on his head. Has he got an umbrella?
No.
A man's gone outside.
Yeah.
And it is raining.
It's chucking it
It's
down.
pouring.
It's really wet out there.
Team Liquid is just raining down upon him.
Yeah. But there's not a wet hair on his head. You can play along.
He's bald.
Chat. He is bald. There
He's
you
bald.
go. Hey.
Hey.
See? Because how would his hair get wet?
That's right.
There you
there's
go.
none on his head.
He's got it. He's got it.
I think that's the first time I've got a rehost Riddle right.
Well done.
Oh, it's very good.
Proud of you, mate.
Yeah, did you see that little light bulb moment?
Yeah. He's bald.
He's bald?
Yeah, he is. Yeah. There you go.
Yeah.
I hope you enjoyed that at home as well if you played along in chat. I didn't see it, but gold star to whoever would have said the right thing. I'm sure some of you got it correct.
Well done. Well done. Well done to anyone in the crowd that got it as well.
Yeah, you never know. And the crowd is actually loaded today. It's been really cool to see how many people we've had turning out for what is the biggest stage, what is a huge part of the event here. It's all been leading up to this, and you've heard how vocal they've been. There's not even a crowd mic in the building. They're just that damn loud.
Exactly.
We can hear them.
Can we get a bit of a crowd chant from the Power fans who seem to be really giving these guys some gas here? That's what we want.
There we go. Let us hear it. If you're a fan of Power, bring the energy up. Power gaming fans,
volume.
come on. Turn up the decibels. Give us the cheers for Al Haji. There they are. All right. Woo. Swift rehost. Keep you on your toes.
Yeah.
We'll get things resituated and get back in. This is cool as well.
Is cool.
The whiteboard for the drop spots.
Yeah.
I like that. That's actually really smart ingenuity there.
They've moved.
Yeah.
I can move it.
I can
You've printed yours out, haven't you?
Yeah.
You fool.
Oh, is yours manual? Mine is dynamic.
Womp womp. This is very awesome. I do like that. That's a cool new addition on the block.
Yeah.
Printers in the bin. Whiteboards in.
Well, here we go. Save your energy for this one, everyone in the crowd. It's going to be a big game. Last game of the night here. An important point in the competition for our viewers at home. Strap in, get yourself ready, as we're going to kick this one off again. Getting back into the action now.
We've already glazed the GT20 Pro enough. Let's head straight into the game here, watching as this map does unfold before our very eyes like a lovely piece of origami that I'm about to destroy by unfolding it.
Yeah. Crush it. There you go. You can hear the crowd getting excited for this one as well. The anticipation for the game that is about to come. as the plane path is locked in. Our teams are getting out,
making
their move, ready for this, Blank. It's a good day for PUBG Mobile here.
It really is. It's nice to hear the crowd pump for their boys over here on Power. And I imagine there's more fans over there as well. But Al-Haji has been playing a good game so far. Not quite towards the top of the table just yet, but there is time. There's still time.
We haven't hit that clock just yet.
Only a third of the way into the games here. 2 more days to go, and those can be some very crucial days indeed. Remember, we did have Power make their big comeback on day 3. So maybe that's when they come alive. Team Liquid very central at the moment over towards San Martin. So they head over into position. Reject feeling themselves a little bit on the last game, I would say.
Oh, I think so. I think the confidence levels are coming back up. Group stage, they had some monumental moments. They barely squeaked their way through, clearing into that benchmark spot to be able to avoid the survival stage. Now they have to come out swinging. You currently sat in 9th place. The elims were good from the previous matchup, but the longevity of it wasn't there. Can they finish the day with a big upwards draft?
That's what they'll need. And be able to ride that draft up on high. Tiamba dropping in. IWNRX once again looking to potentially engage against one another. This is a scary little bit of a prospect. IWNRX and Tiamba basically last game took each other out, which is an unfortunate way to start their game. Afioso! Some sweet moves on the motorbike there.
Crowd absolutely erupting in excitement for this one as well. Situated close towards the power side of the stage. That's got to feel good to see.
Yeah, the home crowd advantage is kind of big because it's very hard to get down in the games when you've got all this support coming through. It really is helpful.
Can do a lot for you knowing they're chanting for your plays, chanting your names here at the STC Arena.
Alula ISC dropping down towards 10th place. Alliance in 13th, not at all what we expected, but you know, there is rumors going around, but this team just cannot play under massive amount of pressure. The plays that they had in that group stage were unbelievably good though, Jackie. Very nice to see. You wanted more of that. You really did want a little bit more of that. Unfortunately, they've not been able to show that to us here so far. So far.
As it's not done yet. It's still early doors. It's about the optics of how you play throughout the entire of the playoffs. Don't let things drop out your hands and slip away early. A little bit of looting, getting suited and booted going on for both Power and Alpha 7 with the quick rotates out the windows. Nice little techers so you can get yourself some extra gear in a shorter space of time. Alpha 7, of course, they've had a good day of things here, trailing behind only with 5 points of distance between them and the team that's now on your screen in DRX.
Yeah, DRX have had a really good game today, a good day today actually, and I think it's just been a case that there's not really been many maps where we've seen them do badly. I think every single time we've seen them hit, you know, 6, 7 elims, around about that caliber, which is that's a very difficult team to catch up to. A team that's getting consistent points every single match and just bumping themselves up the leaderboard. Because it gets to a point where you're like, oh, we really need a big game. We need a big game to catch up. And not only that, we need to profit over the points that they're getting every single time. And if you just have a bad day and DRX is just practically skipping through these games with not a care in the world, just picking up points here and there, they're just going to lap you so quickly. Twisted Minds on our screens. I think we hoped more would come from this team, especially after watching their survival stage. Currently they're up against Talon, and Misery has not a clue in the world of where Higor is. The trigger discipline is there. Will he let them get away?
He didn't like the engagement. Oh. Waits his timing out. Sees if he can spot out a second target before actually unloading, but now puts the damage in. Closes Misery's chapter in this one.
Talon again losing some players pretty early in the game, and they had a pretty good start, what we would say an extra spicy start over on one of their Arangles, but they haven't been able to follow that one through here, Jackie.
Not been as consistent. That was the big question we had. Is it something that's going to be consistent from them and sustainable? Team Liquid trading blows with Tongji Bao. As it goes both ways, that damage done inside of the building. Oh, nade round the corner goes a little bit too far to remove Flower from the equation. And this could be a battle to remember between these two teams. Liquid need to get a leg up in this one.
Yeah, they're directly competing for Tongji Bao's position. With Mythic down early in the fight, the best he can do is provide information back, but that Molotov will clean him out now as Flower will get the finish on. There's a nade coming up from high. Sent in, Ayala and Chief looking to clear out these buildings with Cardozin providing cover from the backside. Nade goes in, GK first, likely to go down first too.
GK first, not really in a recoverable position here. Little opportunity to catch your breath for Liquid. Pop those stims, get yourself top back up. GK first expiring, as he won't have a chance to remain alive. Oh, quick peek up from the back. Ooh. Flower unloads, throws the clip in the AK and slays on the rotate out. Team Liquid thought they were slick, but now they slip.
That's a really good read there from Flower. Pluck the words from the paper as Team Liquid tried to write the script of escape for themselves. That is upsetting, and I think for Team Liquid, they can play as 3. They cannot play as 2.
It's going to be far harder for them. An outcome that TJB, although they lose GK first, they'll still be content with how it looked like it could have gone. It's bumpy territory for them, but they survived the initial test. And Liquid, if they had an opportunity to build themselves back up in this game and shut down TJB, then yeah, maybe things could exchange hands on the rankings. Now it's looking like they might be late for the date, like the Hadron Collider.
Right now they are kind of playing very, very strongly, Jackie. It's a difficult one to handle for TJB because I think they had some pretty strong games. Like Kalaris was saying, some of the positions for some of these teams up towards the top were very influential, especially over on Primordial. This was a good stand-up, though, from Flower. I mean, that's what you got to do in that situation, though. You can't cower away. You just have to hit some big shots, especially if Team Liquid's going to give them to you like that. I think particularly on the buggy, it might have been better for him to just crawl away before getting in because you are on that elevated position in the back of the buggy. Especially in a situation where there's the window looking directly at you, problematic. So is Power Grid, and that's where we're heading here, over towards that western side. The electricity in the arena now fizzling around Power Grid.
It's the name brand, but will it be the name that's being chanted? Can Power lay claim to the point of interest that is their namesake? On the rotate for now, we'll join their POV. Vehicles galore as they make their move. Twisted Minds as well. They've still got all 4 players alive, but a bit of chip damage has been dealt onto each and every one of them. Meanwhile, Alpha 7, just in the distance from Tongji Bao, DRX and Talon, close towards one another as well.
Derek's down a player. First time in a while as well that we've seen DRX lose a player early. A lot of times they like to play out their endgames as 4. A bit more of a family squad in that way. They do like to have all players up and alive in those final moments to make the calls, to make the plays off the back of one another. Just really chaining together to get themselves the best kind of performance in those scenarios. But we still have 16 teams here, Jackie, at around stage 3. Pretty difficult to squeeze all of them into this circle, I would say.
Not the biggest circle, but a big collection of teams. No one yet to fully be removed. No one's opportunity snatched away from them. Some in far better standing than others. There's always room to climb. The grouping down from 5th to 8th isn't that far off each other. If you could have some big elim games, get some momentum, have a finish.
Yeah.
That gives you that chicken dinner, then who's to say there isn't a big shuffle towards the end of today to at least break into that top 4?
Yeah, I think that for 4MV in particular, they haven't absolutely gutted themselves in these games. I mean, 14 points is still not a horrible starting point for them going into tomorrow if they just go out now, but I think they would like some more points. And you're right, the grouping isn't horrendous, but tomorrow's going to be the big one.
Yeah.
because that'll be when teams are going to decide, look, we're either going to set ourselves apart from the pack or we're going to fall behind. And that is just the way it will be. Today is a little bit more of a grace period in the sense that it is recoverable by tomorrow. It does also require teams at the top not to fly too far ahead and potentially have their own off days. Yeah, at this point in time, the grouping is looking a little bit forgiving towards the middle side of the lobby. Alpha 7, though, already in a crazy good spot for themselves around power grid, getting set up, siphoning a lot of that electric for themselves and using it to get themselves in a great position going forward.
Absorb the energy in the air and channel it into your gameplay. Everyone moving their way in towards the zone. The space between squads is becoming finer and finer, on top of one another with these angles. Vampire, there is a potential snake in the grass behind them, and a man from Tiamba that's been biding his time. It's a bit of a ditch you can play in, so you do have cover from either side. Boom are the squad that are ahead of them. They begin to rotate. Vampire hopping in the vehicles, getting the gas on the go. That's the peak back up. This is what Boom were waiting for, and the first contact's good for them. Instant knock.
Razy has to back off. Does hit some shots back towards him, but very unlikely that Vampire will be able to get their boy back up again as Newsy left out in the cold. Tony K just moves on forward and directly into the clutches of the duo from Team Liquid.
Uh-oh. He realizes what's waiting over the corner. Oh, a bit of crash into the man. Only forced out of the vehicle. He's going to get the first hit off. Tongji Bao suffering on the engagement. A reply back from the distance. It's Reject that won a third party. They've been lurking in the wings in every single one of these fights, always stealing away elims. And from the high ground, they bring the damage to TJB and look to further add insult to injury to Vampire.
Reject right now with a Reject radio just calling in the shots right now where these players are moving across the map potentially to get themselves some third parties. It's awesome to see Team Liquid escape a pretty tough fate. They saw about 3 teams coming their way about to crest that lip, only for Reject to save them so they could see one more day in this map. Vampire dropping smokes, trying to keep themselves as protected as possible. 8 in the back pocket for Schweppes there, but for how long? As Sarah, who's been having a very awesome day. The sprays have been insane.
It's all about that tracing, that tracking from such a distance. Even a small movement can throw the crosshair off due to how far away they are from one another, fighting downrange from the elevated angle. Sarah always makes it look easy, though. We've seen that today. He's been very on point with his gun skill. This is Liquid that were given a lifeline. They're still down by their 2 vehicles, debating if they do need to reposition, get out of their zone coming in.
And again, this is a weird one because we have a lot of that low ground down towards the south and then that plateau around power grid on that northeast side. This could really change the dynamic of the game, whether things get very uncomfortable for our southern teams. It's pretty kind, but it will keep that high ground in. A massive slope to be played around with. This is going to get difficult, Jackie, going forward. Alpha 7, still just waiting in the wings though, ready to pounce.
15 teams still in the running. The only one that's exited stage left in our last matchup of the night is Tongji Bao. Tiambas rotate on our screens now. Alpha 7 off to the wayside. Twisted Minds nearby as well. Xavier, they've been thrown into some really bumpy waters over the course of these games. Here we go, Obscure. He always likes to instigate these fights. He spotted the reposition. Belts them with bullets. Shot after shot, putting pressure on Tiamba.
Said about TJB exiting stage left, but it's Obscure who is in the theater right now, putting on plays for the team from Twisted Minds. Ayala goes down, that's the Tiamba. QZZ finds Ayala, and it will be Stone to pick up Cardozo as he scrambles over the lip there, only into the waiting jaws of the Vampires themselves. sink the fangs in. Try and draw some kind of life force, because from 14th place, it's not looking good.
Reject have kept their eyes on Vampire for so long. Once again looking for an opportunity to strike, but it's the nade from Tiamba. The dance of their demise. They chuck out another one, keeping them trapped in position. It's very uncomfortable for Vampire, and the nades are on target.
And there's got to be one that hits. Schweppes has to swing so far wide as the bombardment happens behind his back. That might tag. It's a little bit too far away, so they don't have the information on it. There's a lot of investment. That's a good one. Will hit some damage, and that's the main thing. They have an idea of his location. NXC looks to move to the side, but the shots, I think that's from Reject. Sara stepping back up once again now that he's finished with Boom on the other side. In comes QZZ.
Oh, shotty. Switches to it in close range, but couldn't handle the might of Tiamba that closed it down. Oh, hang on. It's not going to be any room to breathe here. Alula IHC, they've moved up. High ground control favoring them in their fight versus Twisted Minds. Instigating it with the nades once again. IWNRX find the backline stab onto Paragin.
Yeah, the Xavier struggling here as the boys from IWNRX start to crest over the hillside. Nades go in, explosions galore, shrapnel all over the place, but IWNRX fighting through the carnage. Frozen will drop back down, will get a finish off for himself.
And Reject even find an angle, the third party onto this one as well. Just going from pillar to post, swiveling their heads and taking shots at whoever looks like they're near.
That's
that
good.
Elim. Nade rolls on up. IWNRX are playing bowling, and that one's a big old strike.
Sara from Reject sets his size upon Boom. Sara's been having one crazy day today. Shot after shot. Putting these teams in dismay. As he just plays from the high ground right now. King of the hill. Might have to leave it, but no, with that circle that keeps them in. This is a position where you can pick up a bunch of points.
Reject looking like big stage players in today's games. That momentum carrying over. Their eliminations slowly building. Alliance been quiet for some time. 2 Elim points to their name. Spot the reposition from Alula IHC. Bullets into the back. They can jump in the vehicles as well. Look for a bit of a rotate on this one. See if you can get yourself in a better spot to play off and have that elevated peak onto the rest of the squads. Still all 4 players alive for Twisted Minds. Ratto Boy on the split as always.
12 teams alive, 40 players still up at stage 5. This is sort of unheard of. But it is Reject that I've got my eyes upon there. One of the best positions. Demo looks for one on power. Looks for the second with the DP. Tries to move out the way, but he gets shunted into the buggy. Quite literally splatted like a bug.
You could see the change in his mind there, the decision making. Didn't want to fight the rest of the squad, just wanted to hard confirm the Elim for Miracle Vibes, spotting out power. Their vision blocked by the smoke, it goes both ways. It might give them cover, but it makes it awkward to hit the actual connection across. They start to see bullets zipping towards them. Back off from the position, don't overcommit to the fight versus power.
A quick shot at the trophy there, that's what all the players are fighting for here. The PUBG Mobile World Cup at Esports World Cup. Regiocio came close to the match. He's got support from the rest of his teammate, potentially trying to bring back some of that ammo. He will just send away as Divine gets absolutely slammed on this high ground. Could not peek out one bit.
Intervention from him. Keeping the pressure on. Talent, in the meantime, being nipped at by the zone for Miracle Vibes, looking to third-party snapshots on the vehicle, not quite on target. Aren't able to commit off the back of the opening. The Reject have presented them. And Reject waiting for an angle, waiting for an opportunity for them to reject the opportunity that Power can level themselves up in this matchup. They split. Verdan goes for the cheeky maneuver. Gets himself in a better spot to try and heal himself back up. Up on top, though, that's Zara's domain. Strikes from the elevated peak. Burns the first man. Does damage onto Hyunbin as well. And he is ruining them right now. Reject are looking like they're really starting to build into this one.
Yeah, this is a crazy position. I think it was S2G who had one hell of a game from this spot, and you just have so many sightlines. If the circle keeps coming to you in this position, it can result in one of the biggest games of your career. So I think that for Reject right now, they understand, and Sarah understands that his position is pivotal to this match. He needs to make sure that he's taking calculated plays where he's not exposing himself to too many teams, but can still try and absorb as many points as possible off back of the elim, because this is exactly what this position is designed to do. Next circle, about to hit. If it keeps Reject in, this is their opportunity, Jackie. This is the window.
Could be their time in the sun. They'll all be decided on the next zone. The beating heart that gives them another chance. The blood keeps pumping in their favor. They've still got zone to work with. They don't have to give up on these golden positions.
Japan just throwing a lifeline here. And they'll grab it with both hands. Regiocio scouting from underneath. Now they've got to be very careful about ammo count. This is the big thing for them, because you don't want to take too many shots. Now that the circle encloses on them, they can start to play a bit more of a slow game. Going for a 15 elim match at this point with a chicken dinner is possible. Boom. Attempt to move up, but Sarah's got eyes on from earlier. He knows where they'll be coming from. IWNRX looking to hunker it down in the warehouses over towards that northeast side, where if you've got 4 teams with 4 players all up, ready to duke it out on that northwest edge.
Baron strikes from the side onto DRX. More damage done as they keep it going. That's the first knock onto Reject as well. They get a taste of their own medicine as IWNRX find an angle to take the shots across to them. A battle breaks out between Twisted Minds and Alpha 7. The vehicle detonates. Twisted Minds losing their legs. It's all getting a bit bumpy. You got to tuck in. Guizao going for the quick heal. Nade coming down onto him. Looks pretty good.
Rolls just a little bit short there. Leon's taken down on Alliance, and Doc joins in onto Audio. Al-Haji will clean up. Now Alpha 7 need to move in. They've been biding their time on the backside, but now they need to head to the front like a linebacker here in the game. Need to barrel their way through Tiamba. Sitting in front, providing the defense.
Reject in the meantime, buff out the damage. Heal up the boys. Keep themselves in a good position, sitting pretty and sitting low. Sitting out of a comfortable spot, but still finding the odd opportunity is exactly what Power have been doing. Al-Haji had that distant connection onto the other squads. He's trying to see if he can get a bit of an assess on the lay of the land here, spot ahead and decide what the best course of action is. You get the nice 2 angles, seeing how focused he is here on the arena as well.
Concentration an all-time high right now for him. McGrellin down in the trenches right now. Holding out. They know they need to use these sightlines to their advantage, but Tiamba is in a rough spot right now. The ham and cheese between the 2 slices of breads of the teams that surround them.
Once again, who is it that pops up in the elimination feed? Reject, taking pot shots, stealing away potential points from other squads by the timing, the decision-making, not using that much ammunition, just getting those last hits off when it matters most. Alpha 7 see the fight that's been breaking out for quite some time. Know they can swoop in, put pressure on Tiamba, whilst Twisted Minds keep their attention. Rattle Boy's nade is good. Nice connection back onto Bond. There's the follow-up as well from Obscure.
Alpha 7 wants a chunky game here. Get themselves into first place, and with DRX suffering down towards the south side, this is the game to do it in. Tiamba, 1 player left. Obscure has to make himself rather obscure. Ashan will go down to Twisted Minds up to 7 elims now. Obscure up to 4 elims himself. Some great nades over the top, and Tiamba gets stomped on.
The beat of the drum silenced. Baron throwing out close nades, giving himself a bit of protection on the push-up. Al-Haji's lurking close. The rest of the squad protecting him in the back line. That's a connection onto Al-Haji. Power, don't overcommit to this. They've been playing a slower game. They want to see if they can get themselves in a good spot. 3 elims to build off the back of. The energy in the arena looking good for them as well. OCO again on the peak up. Can't quite get the tracking on target to strike against Alpha 7's move in.
Good plays from Alpha 7 as well, leaving Two lads behind there as backstops makes it very difficult for Regiocio. Hit these shots. Divine has to hit the deck here. They're going to wait for Alpha 7 to move further in now, Jackie.
Okay, this is the sandwich split. Both of them coming in from either side for Miracle Vibes, set up into two duos, looking to rely off one another's contact. Zara strikes onto Fadan. Power trapped between two teams, being shot in the back from the elevated angle, and full focus on the four of them that are in front. First knock's good, onto for Miracle Vibes. Al-Haji wants to top himself back up, have some extra HP pool to play with, but his teammates are going down in the meantime.
Alpha 7 going crazy versus Twisted Minds right now. Oh, nice nade from Baron. Will take down Al-Haji and more come through. Fadan taking down the backline. That was their backstop. Now removed by Sara. And Power crumpling under 4 Miracle Vibes here. And the vibes are good right now.
Oh, Reject aren't stopping with the amount of damage they're being able to scatter across the battlefield. Twisted Minds are gone. Inflicted so much damage. It's all Reject in the Elim feed. DRX in the meantime are taken out of commission as well, so the top dogs in the lobby are gone. The hometown heroes in Power are gone. We're starting to finally burn our way through these teams. Room for Alpha 7 to move their way up. 55 points. This is also a big game for Reject. 11 eliminations. We said it could be a huge one if they get those big Elims and take a chicken dinner from it. Alliance, one man, trap, shots in the back. He's panicking.
Mate, he got the loot crate on top of the mountain as well. That's insanity. Like I said, this is a position where you can jump so high in the rankings if only the circle goes to you. And Reject have been blessed, but there's an awesome shot from Mafioso to open things up over towards Duello. Luckily, there's a player up there with him. IWNRX. About to launch the nades up. They have to be good, but looks like they're going around the corner over towards Boom. Sara maybe getting ready to unleash a spray here. A hail of bullets for up on high.
It went from being rough on the ammunition to having a big gold belt. A damage to unleash. Sweating bullets literally from the top of the hill and washing over other teams. Meanwhile, IWNRX, a bitter pill to swallow.
Nice.
The aggression from Boom that live up to their name and blow IWNRX away.
Regiocio and Divine looking to hold back the team from 4 Miracle Vibes. Duello has a nade. There's the first one onto Doc. Regiocio will finish it out, jumping through the air. There's a player in there with you in the concrete, though.
They're amongst them now. Reject. They've had distance for so long, but this is where they could crumble. Up close, the aggression starting to be thrown at them. Nades cast out. Apex wants to move in. Strikes from the side. Takes away the edge that Reject have had for so damn long on this one. Sara replying back with the bullets, realizing their grasp on the game is slipping away. Divine down on his last legs. They go in for the hard commit. Apex grabs that one. Sara with the nade round the corner. Bobbin, weaving. In the meantime, Alpha 7 thrown into the fight versus Boom.
4 Miracle Vibes been fighting through a very tough match here for themselves, but managed to scramble up the hill, and now are scrambling the Reject radio. They can no longer communicate one another. They're both so far away. Duello right up on the hillside. A bit of a disconnect coming through for the team as 4 Miracle Vibes live to fight another day. Duello might have the sideswipe though, Jackie.
The elevated peak. He could comet across. If he gets a clear line of sight, takes down the first target, the distance between timing from Boom's rotate to get stuck in to do anything, having to cross round the ridge of the rock could give them an opportunity. Sara starting to move in as well. The pressure being applied, everything coming together now for an intense final fight between these three.
Stage 9. This is where it all ends. Can Reject get their name in the game? On this last match of the day, 12 elims, but a little bit more would be nicer. Apex underneath. Sara crawling around like a python in the sand. Looking to strike, and Duello's been spotted.
They've sussed him out. They know about the angle now. The element of surprise was the big boon for him. But he might have lost his edge. His blade might be dulled. Sara waiting to strike. He's the one that's repositioned and got himself into a spot that could potentially toy with the minds of 4 Miracle Vibes.
Ooh.
Duello, hello, that's the nade
That's
down. Big connection. That one was yummy.
Sara now has to handle 2 players for himself. The repeats coming through. Apex starting to move forward. He doesn't have assistance from his teammate. Apex flies through. Sara finds first.
Sara strikes. crouching round the corner, pounces in with the aggression, fragments for Miracle Vibes, and keeps it going. They want a big elimination game and want to run away with the chicken dinner to boot. We're in a 2 versus 2 in terms of the manpower left. It's awkward for Boom. They're panicking now. You got to make your way round the corner. Duello's got the high ground. He knows exactly where you are. They can't go for the pickup on Yummy. Duello wants to go down, deciding when the right moment to strike is. A barrage of bullets strikes onto the first. Reject run in, and they will take it home. Reject with the chicken dinner.
Slice the opposition in half, move through the lobby like fruit ninjas. Not letting anyone step to them, and this was the game that they needed from up on top of the mountain there. What a game from Reject. You always believe, Jackie, and maybe the belief is coming a reality.
It doesn't matter what anyone else says. Reject everything that isn't